Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333. Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Hey guys, Mike here from The Good Brothers, and you are joining us for our conclusion of our two-part Avengers Infinity War spoiler podcast.
So, what were your thoughts walking out of Avengers Infinity War, Alex?
Well, until the post-credit scene, it was pretty dimmer, honestly. I was like, man, I'm depressed. Like, I think Cisco had the best quote looking to you. He's a more of a common fan that he's like, hey, there's going to be another movie, right? He's like, it's not just over, and you had to tell him, yeah. But I love our Captain Marvel because we finally get Sam Jackson, we finally get Kobe Smulders, and we finally get that moment of like, okay, we're seeing the world now. Like, we don't know where they are. Mike thinks it's the West Coast, which could be right because that's where Captain Marvel's located. And you get the signal of like, okay, helicopters going down, cars are just being like, it's almost like The Leftovers, which, for my TV fans out there, people just disappeared. Like, you had life normal, and now half of everyone is gone in existence. There's no particular order. There's no, numbers that could be all four of us in this room. It could be your whole family. It could be none of your family. It could be one member. It could be every member but you. Like, so random. And then we get the great beeper call to Captain Marvel. We'll see her in March.
One of the greatest lead-ups to a possible movie.
So I was a little more hopeful then. I guess I left hopeful, but more... I'm so sad still.
Nicole, what did you feel about after watching Avengers Infinity War?
I'm so excited for
excited.
I'm just so excited about what happens next because I feel like we've led up to this great disappointment. So I feel like after we must get this great, amazing comeback. And there's just going to be so much more with these characters and the original characters bringing back the second generations, which I think it's got a really different dynamic to it.
To me, one of the best parts of walking out of this movie was just all I wanted to do was get to this point, get to this movie, get to this release. We got there. It paid off. I feel so satisfied. Like, I'm so looking forward to the next over 365 days until we get the next Marvel Avengers movie. But, like Alex said, the post-credit scene with Captain Marvel just really bringing home the excitement I have for this movie now because it means we are one step closer to the real conclusion of this saga. But why don't we get into a few things that post Avengers? You know what? Before we get to that, I want to talk about a little nuanced things that I loved about it. I love that they always gave you teases of triumph with the Avengers theme song, but you never quite got it, even at the very end when you see the Avengers logo and they sprinkled it into dust, and then you get the post-credit scene. It's like... And then you get the very end, Thanos will return. You don't even get the Avengers will return. So it's like little things like that. Like they knew how to dig it in. But let's go ahead and let's have some fun with this. What did we think is moving forward? We got the snap. Does that snap mean from that moment forward, life is like that? Or for some reason to revert back in time because we lost people?
I think reality itself is about to change because I don't think anyone's dead. I think people are trapped in the stone now. I think people are gonna lose memory of each other. So like they're not gonna remember Bucky. And maybe we find out that certain events happen the same way and certain events don't happen the same way. But I think we're gonna see someone eventually, maybe like a Tony Stark because he has these flashbacks, or maybe because he was on a different planet or something, he doesn't get affected as much because he's on Titan. So who knows how far is Titan in the universe? Because maybe, obviously they get killed, but,
they kill off,
but maybe he doesn't get the effects, and maybe when he gets back, he remembers, and it has to explain to everyone, like I know you don't remember me, because remember, Thanos tells them, hey, I hope they remember you. And, you catch it the second time where it's, these little hints of, I don't think it's a death thing, it's more of a mental thing of, I hope they remember you, and, this won't be a thing anymore. I think it's going to almost, rewrite the history, sort of. And we're not going to remember these people that are gone, like these Buckies and, Peter Parkers and stuff. So I think that's how we're going to have to get them out, is maybe Captain Marvel comes and says, this is what happened. we need to do this, and then we get, whatever sacrifice, yada, yada. I can't even predict part 4 yet.
Yeah, I think it's hard to predict because I feel like there's so many different factors, especially because the Infinity Stones are in play. So it's like when we see him taking, the stone from Vision, he just turns back time and just takes the stone. So is it that a different reality? Is it that we're turning back time and now they're going to be prepared for what's going to happen, where Thor is there earlier, or he gets to where he needs to be, or Vision goes somewhere else? Like, there's so many factors that I think are in play right now that I can't imagine where they go, and I hope they go somewhere totally different, to be honest.
I think it's as simple as we start Avengers 4 right where we leave off. I think people want to make this a lot cuter than it is, but I think it's pretty much paint by the books at this point. I think, like, the ballsiness has kind of, we've gone through it. We've gone through the peak. I think at this point now it's just setting things right. I don't see how, unless we get a Deus Ex Machina in Avengers 4 where they're like, yeah, when he snapped his fingers, everything went back to time. And, like, I don't understand how it moves the story forward by going back to the Chitauri in Avengers 1. I feel like from Avengers 3 moving forward, it should be the arrival of Captain Marvel, reassembling the Avengers you have, going after Thanos, getting back your Avengers, and then finally, once and for all, defeating him. I don't understand this purpose of, like, we're going to relive New York, we're going to relive Ultron, we're going to relive this, we're going to relive, like, that's inconsequential to what his plans were. His plans were, I'm going to wipe off half of the galaxy. He didn't say, I'm going to rewrite history. He said, I'm going to snap my fingers, and from that moment on, half of you are going to be gone.
I think the theory only comes up because of the unseen footage of, like, they do. Spoiler, like, we did know they did those scenes back in New York, and they done the scene of back when Captain America was in war. So I think that's the only reason we have that even theory. Like, cause like we said, I don't think any of us are right. I think they're going to, like, we couldn't predict the movie. We're not going to predict the next one. Like, I think we're all wrong, but I think that's the only reason we got based off that is because there's so many scenes that were in the trailers or, like, promised that we're like, well, is that part of part 2 or maybe there's deleted scenes? For all we know, they're just deleted scenes.
And they could
we
be
can
just
get 20 minutes of deleted scenes in this, and that's a lot in this movie.
and they could just be from, like, Thanos looking onto them and being like, oh, this is who I have to kill. This is what I'm going
Yeah.
after.
So I think regardless, there's no way we're going to truly guess. Because we can find out it's this. We can find out there's so many options, like multiple universes, like you said. We can get the multiverse sort of thing. Like,
right.
There's already been so much introduced. So we'll see. Like, the next 2 movies are going to kind of give us little hints. But I don't just like Black Panther, I don't think they'll give us much.
So who do we think is actually dead? I feel like anybody who was killed before the snap or was involved with the snap. So, like, my whole thing is, I'm on the fence whether Gamora is going to stay dead because, to me, it'll be a fascinating story for Guardians 3 to see Peter Quill and the Guardians.
I think on that planet they can figure out a way, like, to bring her back.
But I think you bring an interesting point, too, is, like, politics behind it. Like, you and I, we follow trades. You need Zoe Saldana. You need a female actress to be able to be a main actress in this series. But with that in mind, not taking business out of it, who survives and who comes back, who is actually dead moving forward?
Do you want to, so who died in this movie that's going to remain dead, or do you want to say at the end of everything, who's going to for real?
No, we're going to save that. We're going to save that for the people who died in this movie. Who will come back?
All of them.
All of them.
I think the only people that die eventually is going to be Cap, Iron Man.
All right, save that.
It's the originals.
Save
it's going
that.
to be the originals.
I think Loki. Loki dies.
I agree. I think
Loki's
dead.
Never mind.
I think Loki dies.
I think all the Asgardians.
all the Avengers live to me.
Interesting.
Like Gamora comes back, and all
I
the
think
other
Gamora
Avengers
comes back too. I agree with that. I think Vision's a touch and go because Vision, I feel like if they bring him back, he's not necessarily going to be Vision anymore.
But remember what they said: Vision is Vision regardless.
But that's what I'm
the
saying.
Soul Stone was
It's
more
like,
just a source of power.
Right. So I think, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to be Vision, but a little lackluster version of Vision. It's not going to be the true Vision that we had from the beginning.
I think it's going to be the same Vision as Paul Bentley, and he's going to be on a warpath to get back Scarlet Witch.
Like
so
in
I
the
think,
comic books,
yeah,
like
I think it's the
Vision.
same guy except he's gray and maybe like a little bit more like subdued or something. But like I don't think I think it's the same character except a different color palette. But you believe anybody who's turned into dust is coming back.
Oh yeah,
And they're alive.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Alex can't help himself. Who? Let's just hit to it. Like we're not going to beat around the bush.
Might as well.
Does Captain America and Iron Man die?
No.
In part 4.
No.
Iron Man does for sure.
No.
So neither one of them die.
No.
Okay,
She's only saying that because she loves them.
I can't accept it. Like maybe they do, but I can't accept it.
All right, let me go to Alex. And Alex, how does it happen?
I think to be some sort of sacrifice, like that they're going to be caught in the power, and I think, like if I had it my way, I think you should do Iron Man because after all, like, but I think it would be kind of great if you did maybe the originals, and they all do it. But I think it'll be enough if you get rid of Iron Man and Cap, and everyone else can survive. Like, you don't need to kill Hawkeye or Scarlett Johansson or Bruce Banner. You can leave them alive, but I think it's going to mean more, or Thor. Like, I think you can leave them and be like, these two are our leaders. Like, they came together, and at the end of it all, they died for one purpose. That's to bring back everyone and, relive the Earth. And, like, it's the comic book movies. You can always bring everyone back. Yeah. But I think you can do Iron Man with someone else, and I think you can do Bucky Cap with someone else. Like, you can move on without those two characters a little easier.
I don't even think you need those characters.
I think it takes the meaning of, like, that's the way it should end. Like, these two started it all. They're the ones that are going to be done with it.
I think it's A and B. I think it ends. Honestly, this is where I've been on the fence with, is whether or not Thor is in that equation. But to me,
I think it gets another movie.
Maybe, I don't know. But for me, I think it's not even a question anymore unless Disney just backs up the money truck. I think it's almost a foregone conclusion that the ending is Cap and Tony reuniting with each other for the common goal of bringing back all the Avengers. My theory is it's Thor, the weapon that they use to finally put the final blow onto Thanos, because they've already pre-established that in the movie that Captain Marvel is what's going to be the catalyst that's the driving force to get back to Thanos.
We'll understand her powers after seeing her movie, yeah.
But to me, it's always been that trinity of those three with Scarlet Witch, with Black Widow. It's like that right there is Thor is the power, Tony is the brains, and Cap is the heart. And it's like you're going to need all of them to kill Thanos. And to me, we're beyond needing a Thor movie. We're beyond needing an Iron Man movie. We're beyond needing a Captain America movie. We're at the point now where they have so many IPs. They have so many things to move on in the future. And that idea of that ending of like the God of Thunder, Tony Stark, and Steve Rogers being the ones that turn to white, and like you see them turn to dust as the other Avengers are coming together and coming back.
We got the Hulk in there. Don't disrespect the Hulk like that.
Yeah.
He's not going to die like that. No, here's the point too. Is like you're not going to get rid of characters. You're not going to get rid of characters that are easy to make side characters. If you're easy to be a side character, you won't die in this movie. If you're a main character, you have a chance of not making it.
That's why I would consider it like the main four. Like, do you think the main six die then?
I think only the main three are going to die. I think only Thor, Cap.
I don't like you separating 3 from 6. I think it's either 6 or 4.
Has there been a Incredible Hulk 3? Has there been an Incredible Hulk 2? Shut your mouth. There's only been 3 trilogies.
He's still a standalone character.
How many? There's only been 3 Avengers that have had trilogies. Those are the 3 who are going to die.
That doesn't matter. He still had an individual movie. That makes him important.
No, yes, so is Hawkeye. He wasn't in the movie.
He didn't have an individual movie.
Jesus Christ, you just love to argue.
Solo movies the Hawk had.
So, Nicole, one thing I'm very interested in is, do you believe that they're going to use the Infinity Gauntlet to bring everybody back?
Yeah, I think they have to. I think that there has
the same one that the same one that Thanos is using because it's all wrecked up, or do you think because they've seen the one that Peter Dinklage has in the
actual.
Was that a mold or was that
was a mold?
I don't think it matters.
It was a mold,
I think the mold can be
made. Yeah, the mold can be made, but the thing is that I think the whole purpose is going to be trying to get the stones themselves, because the person who has the stone wields the power?
Yes.
So do they need the gauntlet, or do they just need to have someone with the stone using it all together? No, because it's not necessarily true. Because as long as people are using it at the same time, connected in the same universe at the same moment, it's all about the universe and tapping into the universe's powers. So I feel like as long as they can get the stones, they don't need the gauntlet. It's
almost
about
like 6 individual characters.
Yes.
Like the original Avengers will all come together to sacrifice themselves.
Maybe, but like it's just the idea, in my opinion, is the idea of you just need to have someone willing to use that stone for that specific thing.
I think it's about I think it's about closing storylines, and there's one storyline that's been from literally the first Avengers to where we're at right now. It's Cap and Tony. Like that's what it is.
I could see Tony maybe wearing the glove and connecting with Captain Day. That's the final blow. Like kind of like we did in Guardians, where they're all holding the power.
Holding
maybe Tony puts it on, and instead of going alone, he's like, they'll join forces. That's the only way to maintain it. One big blow to Thanos and brings back the universe.
And I think Thor's part of that because he's the weapon.
We're not going to talk about
And
that.
here's the point, too. It's like you got, using the business point of it, it's like you're not going to kill Hulk because they don't own the rights to it, so they can always use him as a side character. You're not going to kill Scarlet Witch because you need women.
We've also had
Black Widow.
We've also pretty much announced it Thor 4, though.
No, we have not. Taika Waititi has said he wants to direct
Very
Thor
bad
4.
kept secret.
Okay, like,
sure.
yeah, and it's not even part of any... Anyway, like, the idea is, like, cool. I mean, there's a good chance there's a Captain America 5, too. Like, we don't know.
We
like,
might
we
also get
know.
the X-Men coming up in a year and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, awesome speculation. But what I do know is
news,
that we've had precedents of seeing comic books of Steve Rogers and Thor and Captain America, and Iron Man with the Infinity Gauntlet, including Nebula, who's one of the only other characters in the storyline who in the comic book has done it. So to me, I think it's pretty much right in front of you. I think people want to make this as crazy and as hard as it is. It's Tony and Steve's story. And it has to end with Tony and Steve. The only reason I even put Thor in the conversation is Chris Hemsworth has talked about it being his last movie. So if it's true, if contracts are ending and you're moving forward, you definitely know storyline-wise the two characters who have to go.
Yeah.
Let's get into what everybody's talking about also. What's the title of Avengers 4?
I don't think it's Secret Wars because that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not Secret Wars anymore.
But you know what? Like you almost convinced me the other week, and I know you probably changed your mind. But I'm like, you know, it could be Secret Wars because maybe now they have to find Thanos more as like low key. Like we have a low key plan. Because at this point, maybe he's not worried. Maybe he's just like, I'm ruling from up here. Like I don't have to worry about you guys anymore. You failed already. And maybe now it's more like okay, we have a plan, but we really got to get this plan.
I had my heart set on Secret Wars. I actually think that's Avengers 5. I think the next Avengers is
Gauntlet or something.
It's Avengers Assembled.
I like that.
I think it's Avengers Assembled.
Someone was throwing around a name.
I know. I think it's as simple as Avengers Assembled. Because I think Captain, at some point, in order for them to bring back the Avengers,
we're going to get everyone that's still around.
And think about the money shot. The Infinity Gauntlet in the air, and they're closing it, and all they scream is Avengers Assemble, and all the Avengers come back.
Whoop his ass.
And they whoop the shit out of Thanos.
I still feel like we need to get that scene with Tony where the originals are all dead. Or, like, maybe we get that fight scene, like, the famous one in the comics and the cartoons.
Or he daydreams or dreams it while he's on Titan. Maybe. Like watching everybody dead.
Yeah.
Or not the ether.
Yeah, so it's like there's so many things that we could see. Nicole, do you have an idea? I mean, I know you're not a big nerd about it, but like, what are the titles that you've heard?
No, I've heard something, and I'm trying to remember what it is. It's something with an R, like Avengers.
Resurgence.
Yeah,
Avengers
I've
Resurgence
heard Avengers Resurgence. I kind of hope it's Avengers Assembled because
we've never heard him say it. We've never heard Captain America say Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, they've been saving it. Like you're right. Yeah. Like we almost got it at the end of Age of Ultron. Yeah. They're saving it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I hope it is because that would be great. But you know, Resurgence isn't bad.
I don't like Resurgence. That sounds like a bad Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That sounds like a video game movie.
That was a great movie. Yeah.
I would like it to be Avengers Assemble because I think that's it just gives that little touchback,
it should
right?
Be one of two things. I agree. It should be one of two things. It should be Avengers Assembled or it should be Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Like, that's all it should be.
I mean, they can call it Avengers, and I'm going to love it, so it doesn't matter.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
Yeah, I mean, and because they used the title The Avengers to start the cinematic universe, like I feel like Avengers Assemble just kind of brings it all together.
Simple, classy, ready to go.
Just like I believe the new Spider-Man movie will be called Spider-Man: The New Avenger. So I feel like
that's called Spider-Man: Homecoming coming
You're
back.
an idiot. No, it's gonna be Spider-Man in the new.
That's gonna be dope. I can't wait for the next. Like I'm so excited for the next phase. Like I'm so in love with Spider-Man. I can't wait for him to finally be done with
He's
the
so great.
Let's have some fun.
So good.
Let's have some fun. We have some time.
You don't know what's fun for me.
What is the post-credit scene of Avengers Assembled?
Fantastic Four.
I think it's Galactus. Yeah.
I think it's or Silver Surfers.
Yeah.
It's Fantastic Four area.
I agree. So, Nicole, just so you understand, and for anybody who's been listening this far, the acquisition, while officially unofficial, Fox has sold all of its IP when it comes to every movie division, everything essentially not Fox Sports or Fox News or basic Fox was sold to Disney.
Right.
So we do know that at the very least, most of Avengers 4 has been filmed in concurrent with Avengers Infinity War. People are wondering whether in Avengers 4 we will see any X-Men or Fantastic Four. I don't think we get any of them. I think after we've defeated Thanos, we get our Avengers, whoever's gone, whoever's alive, we see a post-credit scene of Galactus looking at Earth and telling Silver Surfer to go there. And
I think we get Silver Surfer at least. But I think like they did with Spider-Man, we're like, if it's quick enough, they can just add that in really fast and be like, because I don't think you're right. We probably don't get Fantastic Four necessarily characters because they're going to have to cast actors, and that's going to be a crazy casting that you got to do. But you might get a reference of like, because I think we had more positive. I think it's going to be a positive post-screen, like not like Avengers where Thanos, they were confused. I think it's going to be more one of those like, our characters are walking around, and then maybe we get a general saying, you know, I got this doctor you need to meet. His name is Dr. Richards, and he's got a family I think you'd be willing. Something like that where it's like there's these people that exist, or like how cool would it be if you get like, oh, there's this professor that runs a school that I think you'd be interested in, like something like that where you're like, oh shit, son, or like the Brotherhood Attack.
Maybe you hear Bruce like saying something like, "Yeah, I'm going to Latvia."
Like
and we find out that he's gonna go see Doctor Doom.
It only needs to be subtle. Like if you only have enough of a deal, I don't care. Any subtle reference to X-Men or Fantastic Four, I'm gonna be ecstatic. I think Silver Surfer would be kind of coolest. Like maybe just like we don't even see Galactus. Maybe just Silver Surfer like looking, and the nerds are gonna know. Okay, he's there for Galactus. We don't need to see him yet. Just going toward Earth. And you're like, oh shit.
Oh man,
Surfer.
I think a lot of people are on the boat of you're going to see Silver Surfer in the post-credit scene.
You need to, because he's already, I mean, like, obviously that was just the IMDb thing, but still.
How about if you see something like a Magneto or something like that?
Oh, I'd love that. That would be my favorite. That would literally be my favorite. Because like I said, I watched the whole, like, kind of development of Scarlet Witch. And
to see
so
Magneto?
That would be awesome.
Now remember, he can stop Thanos because he can wield the glove, he can wield a hammer. He can stop him for closing his fist because the metal won't close. So, like, that's kind of cool.
But I think that would be a really cool thing to bring into it, because I think partially for people who aren't as into the comics or just never read them, and like now I kind of want to go read them because I think it's such an interesting storyline. But you kind of forget that X-Men is in the same universe. Like, it kind of falls through the cracks if you're not a comic book fan.
Because they've never been connected in the movie universes.
Right, and the person who connects them...
Well, here's the thing. In theory, yeah, you're right. Magneto and Scarlet Witch and all that are a bridge between it. But in comics, they're all incestual. They all their storylines teach together. The reason why, for any of you who don't know why we never saw the X-Men and Marvel characters in this MCU talk together, was Fox owned the TV, the movie and TV rights of the X-Men.
Not everyone knows that, Mike?
I would, if you're listening to this show this deep into it, I guess you would.
We said spoilers in the beginning.
So, yeah, guys, I think we've broken down a lot of this movie from inside and out. We've kind of gone through the fan theory. So why don't we close it out at the end of this? Who is the one that kills Thanos?
Captain Iron Man.
I agree.
Together.
I think it has to be.
So what is Captain Marvel though? Is she just kind of like the catalyst that drives all this?
I think maybe she gets them there, but she doesn't do the final blow.
I agree. I think she has to be the one because she's a little bit more separated from the rest of them, and she can look at more of a clear head opposed to a clouded vision of, like, emotion isn't as much brought into it because she's not in it the same way. I think she's able to bring clarity. What
is it that you want to see in Avengers 4, Alex?
Everything and Fantastic Four. But I'm not going to get that. But everything.
Nicole?
I want a conclusion.
I want to see it.
I want a conclusion. I want to see it really come to that closed end, and I want to know what reality is.
When do we get the title of the movie, Alex?
Some later time this year, I think. Maybe around Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Nicole?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you
year's
that.
not that long, honestly. Year's going to fly by.
We're in May. Alex, when do we get the first trailer?
Monday Night Football, like Star Wars, I believe.
Oh, that would be a good
thinking,
one.
I'm thinking Christmas week.
I was thinking
I'm
Christmas.
thinking that's when we get like maybe a second trailer. No, we'll get it first. I think I'm gonna get Monday Night, and then the tickets go on sale. No, but that's still too far away.
The movie comes out in May. I'm thinking December.
I think that'll probably be alright. I think we'll get it a little earlier though.
They don't need
maybe Thanksgiving.
That's a good one.
I heard the greatest joke from Nick Mundy. He's like, if you really want to go all out on this, because it's not like they did
trailers.
No trailers, no posters. Just give us the release date. Just give us release
Like,
date.
get the poster be like Avenger.
Just put the A logo and the date of the movie.
And just the title. That's
People will
it.
go nuts.
Imagine if there was no previews, if there was nothing, and they're just like Avengers 4, because there is no Avengers.
I get it.
Yeah, it would be just so good. Does Marvel the Avengers 4 release early like this one?
Yes. I think if they're smart.
Maybe just like a week, but not because of like it needs to, just because it's like, might as well since the other one did it, like just be fun. But I feel like you don't do that again now, just because like
You don't need to.
it's like that was a cool one trick thing. But now if you do it again, it's like, oh, that's just okay.
Why not just tell us you're going to release it?
Yeah, like I don't think they do it again.
Will it break the record that Avengers Infinity War made?
Yes,
Very
even if it's only for a little bit. Well, if it's this will be the 265 million one now.
Wow.
Because people are invested. It's gonna be like I'm on Twitter now, Mike, and like everything is a joke about Thanos or disappearing. Like like we argued this earlier. Like I think you're underestimating what a big pop culture thing. Like
No,
you have a
it's not-
Thanos costume in the mail.
It's not that I underestimate. It's the argument I had with you that this movie is way more important. That Avengers 4 will never, ever, as great as it is, as much money as it may make, will never capture the moment that Avengers Infinity War did, leading into that movie theater, leading into the hype, leading after it, what it meant to people. There's no way, even at the happiest of endings, even of the saddest of endings, Avengers Infinity War is a once-in-a-lifetime moment, like you got with Empire, like you got with the Two Towers, where like you got with...
you mentioned Two Towers.
The Two Towers is one of the greatest movies. If
But not as good as Return of the King.
If it wasn't for the fact that Return of the King won so many Academy Awards, The Two Towers would get, which was nominated for, I think, 8 Academy Awards on its own right. It's the same thing about Godfather 2.
What about Deathly Hallows 1 and 2? 2 was better, obviously, even though 1 was great.
Oh, then you get the opposite.
Yeah,
of Hunger
Nicole, I
Games.
got the Harry Potter reference for you.
Yeah, you did.
Get it.
Yes.
Do you think this movie would have suffered had it been called Infinity War Part 1?
No.
No.
I think this movie's
Looking
so
back-
big. And I think this movie did something special where it's bringing people that aren't huge comic book nerds and are being like, well, we get it now. Like, we totally, like, I kind of only watched a few of these movies, but I want to watch them all now. Like, I get what you get. Like, common fans who maybe skip a few movies, like a Doctor Strange or a Black Panther. Well, don't skip Black Panther, but like a Guardians. Now they're like, no, I want to watch it. Like, I get what you get. So I think that's why, like, Marvel's going to do something new where it's like, yeah, most of the time you'd be right, but they've already proved this wrong once, Mike. They're going to do it again and be like, you thought you couldn't get more excited, hyped in the atmosphere? Nope. We got you again.
So why don't we get into a little bit of looking forward to Ant-Man and the Wasp? What do you think Ant-Man and the Wasp is? We already know that it's a semi-prequel to Infinity War.
I think we both kind of guessed the same thing. Where it's
Yeah.
a nice little side story.
Yeah.
But I think that movie has to end with someone in the family.
Somebody has to-
maybe not even Ant-Man and the Wasp. Maybe Michael Douglas. Maybe Michael Pena would be a good one where it's like, you're at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, what's up? And then out of nowhere, it's just, oh, you're caught up. Like, now people are disappearing.
Yeah.
Nicole, is that what you feel about Ant-Man
Yeah,
and the Wasp?
I
What do you guys
mean-
think about Ant-Man and the Wasp? Are you guys
Because
excited?
they're
for
not
I'm
in New
excited.
York, so
I'm
like,
not that excited.
Really? Did you not like the first Ant-Man?
I never watched it.
Boo.
But that's how you know that I'm not. I
Mike
love
has to hold
superhero
to
movies. I see superhero movies when they come out, and I just was not excited about Ant-Man.
Why do you hate Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas?
But I
Nicole?
don't hate Paul Rudd.
seemed
I
like you
just
did, though.
wasn't excited about the movie. Like, nothing about it really excited me. I don't know what it was. Maybe because, like, Ant-Man to me felt very much like Aquaman did before.
He has a show-stealing scene in Civil War, too, by the way. With the
Yeah,
giant
I know
man.
he does, but the thing
Nicole, you're
is
a terrible
like,
person.
it
I
wasn't.
regret all of this
See,
now.
this is why I don't come on your show.
Yeah.
This right here
Last
is why
time till
I
next
don't
year, guys.
come on
Cross
your
over.
show.
Snap, Mike. Do the snap. I don't know how to snap. No,
But
she's still here.
it's. I just wasn't that excited, and I will watch it because I do. I'm gonna see this one with you
And
guys.
you have no choice.
So
What did you think about the trailer?
I loved it. I thought it's hilarious. Like, it's got the good vibe, and like, it's just a little weird, like coming off of such a big movie.
I agree,
that we have
yeah.
to do this, but maybe by that point we've already seen Deadpool and Solo, and it'll be a good palate cleanser to kind of go back in the world. But like, it is very odd timing. Like, this movie has a lot to live up to, and it's very unfair.
Yeah.
Because at least Captain Marvel has the mystery aspect of it, but like, this is a sequel. Like, and let's be honest, if your name's not Captain America, your sequels are usually not good. Iron Man 2, people didn't like. Thor: Dark World, people didn't like. If you're not Cap, like, they don't really. Guardians 2 was good, but not as good. So now you're like, damn, like, you got a lot to live up to, but you are introducing Wasp, which is going to be great because we need more female superheroes. It looks great. It looks funny. It looks like the same. But it just seems so small compared to, like, we just dealt with Thanos, and now we're going to deal with, like, Spectre-looking girl.
Yeah, right. Now, moving, and then a little bit further that, before we get to Avengers 4, we get Captain Marvel.
My bad.
Again, another side story, and I guess it has to end with the beeper.
Well, it's a past. Well, it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
So we know Samuel Jackson is. We know Coulson's in this.
Yeah.
So we know probably Colby. No, Smulders would be too
No,
young,
Smulders
but-
wouldn't be in this.
But that would be fun if we get like a 19-year-old version of
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm new, I'm from the whatever. But like, we're gonna get an old school version, and obviously that movie has to end maybe with the beeper, and she's obviously on a faraway planet somewhere, and now she's gonna be coming back, and that end credit scene is gonna lead to, you know, maybe like, I can't wait. I'm more excited for the end credit scene in the movie because the whole movie I'm gonna be like, okay, I know she's going to.
I'm like,
Now show me what happens.
Gosh.
Tell me what happens.
What if at the end she turns to dust too? And then after all that, she's
Stop
dust.
it.
Where she's actually
I was
dust,
actually thinking about that
No,
too.
that's stupid, Mike. Don't be
too.
stupid.
Yeah, I'm putting that out
You're
there in the
stupid.
universe.
Like, that's dumb.
Cool, guys. That's how we're gonna end the episode. Alex calling me dumb. Any last thoughts of this heavy, action-packed? I mean, guys, we made it. Like, all I could say is,
What
we made
now?
it. What
What
now?
now?
What now?
Mike, you gonna kill yourself or something?
Let me say this, guys. We'll get through this together. We'll make it through this year together. We'll go through the ups and downs, and we will love those that we have lost in this universe. And until we get them back, we are here for you. And the Good Brothers will give you every bit of information that you need to hear leading into Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, and the rest of the MCU. Guys, thank you so much for being part of this heavy-duty episode of Avengers Infinity War. Thank you for giving me your theories. Thank you for giving me your thoughts. Let's get into, I know it's kind of mute at this point because we're so deep in, but final scores, Alex.
Infinity. Oh, what? I give it 6 Infinities out of 6. 10 pizzas out of 10 pizzas, and there was an extra pizza that was ordered or not. Pick it up so you get the extra pizza. It's a perfect movie. It's one of the best epics of our generation. This movie will live on forever. It's going to be, if this movie doesn't get nominated for Oscar, we're never going to see a comic movie nominated for Oscar. Because this is it. Like, this is the best Star Wars movie ever. This is the best superhero movie ever.
Does it get more Oscar love than Black Panther?
It kind of makes you forget about Black Panther a little bit.
No.
At this point, Black Panther's only going to get music and costume.
They'll definitely get music.
Costume.
Music and costume, I
That's
agree.
it.
I
This
agree.
movie's good enough to get actor and possibly, more movie and possibly an actor.
We'll see.
Or best supporting for Thanos.
It'll be cool.
Like, I really, truly believe that's how good it is.
I don't know, dude.
Josh Brolin, you are a godsend. You Cable Sicario ass with this
I
year
can't
still.
wait. Thank you for making
We're
the
not
Goonies
worthy.
not horrible.
Goonies
Nicole?
sucks, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
10 out of 10. Easy.
Pizzas?
Just easy.
Pizzas?
Pizzas. 10 out of 10 pizzas.
I want pizza, Mike.
I tried to make some. It didn't turn
Yeah, it
out.
looks gross, though.
To me, this is an
Cauliflower.
event. This is a must-watch. This is a be part of the conversation, be part of the moment. And if you always hear people talk about those moments in cinema where they're like, I remember the summer of this, when this movie was. I remember the summer of Jaws. I remember the summer of Jurassic Park. I remember the summer
Like
of
Jurassic
Batman.
Park, Jaws, Wizard of Oz. Like, this is that level.
This
of,
is
like,
it. This is the movie.
Godfather. Like, these are
the movie of the year.
This is gonna go down as one of the greatest movies of all time, people.
And, you know, Kevin Feige and what they did over in Disney and what started with Jon
Hell,
Favreau
Feige.
and we got with James Gunn and we got with Ryan Coogler and we got with the Russo brothers and we got with
Favreau, man.
John Favreau. We got with Joss Whedon. We got him from Peyton Reed. We got Scott Derrickson. We got him from the Russo brothers. I mean, we got it from.
Such a good list.
It's so great. Scott
Sean
Derrickson.
Black, get some love in it.
You know, Shane Black for the original. Like, just the stack and it's only getting better. And I'm so looking forward to the future of what this is and what else is going to happen. So, Alex, final thoughts?
We're not worthy of this movie. I've seen it twice. I can't wait. I'm gonna see it on bootleg. I'm gonna see it on DVD when it comes out. I might see it in the theaters for a date. I don't know yet. I need to see it again. I might watch it again tonight, people. I might drive right there now and watch it by myself so I can cry alone.
Nicole, final thoughts?
I thought it was amazing. I loved all the characters. I loved the depth of each and every single character, and that they were able to bring all the storylines together to make such a solid fucking piece.
Yeah, to me, it's one solid story, and on top of everything else, it's a story that tells you what it is beat by beat. In the sense of Thanos tells you, it's a weird feeling knowing that you were right to be wrong all along. And throughout the whole story, our heroes know that they are right, know that they're doing the right thing, know that they have to do the right thing, and they fail every step of the way. And whether it's because it was Thanos' destiny or it's because, like Strange said, this was the only way this could happen, the whole time we realized that inevitability was Thanos. Thanos was this, that there was no, the 10 years was meant for Thanos to win. And Marvel left us with a feeling that no other movie has ever really made you feel. And that's
Emptiness.
Empty, helplessness. Like, if you disbelieve for 1 second knowing that superheroes come back, that if the world was to burn tomorrow, that's how the Avengers ends. And to me, I think that's kind of a really cool, almost justified way of ending this whole universe. And shout out to Kathleen Kennedy and the awesome people of Star Wars and Lucasfilm for sending that awesome tweet of this movie that broke every record. Almost $1 billion movie, 10 days
At the moment
into
where we're
its
800
release.
Some million?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's gonna
Unbelievable.
It'll probably crack $1 billion by next week.
Easily.
Yeah.
Will it break $2 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the highest grossing movie of all time.
It's going to be close. We'll hold on to that
It'll
thought.
pass Avatar.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this heavy-packed saga series of Avengers Infinity War. A special thank you to our special guest, Nicole Mancha.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Snap. She can't come back anymore.
She's gone. Thank you, good brother. Alex, this was really a culmination for our show. From now on, there's pre-Infinity War, and now there's post-Infinity War for the Good Brothers. And we now have to support the team we have left until next May. We have to keep the Avengers going. I hope you're ready for the next year.
I'm just going to be
Good
chanting
Brothers.
the Black Panther across the Ako. Ako.
Yeah, Umbaku Subai.
Umbaka.
So I'm very happy about
Umbaya.
that. I'm very excited.
I'm like going to war. I'm going to do some push-ups now.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of The Good Brothers here on Mercado Airwaves.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.